Hi everyone, and welcome to another video from Double Great Trading. I'm Chris Christensen and I'm the founder. Today I'm going to talk about the open positions screen here and take a look at what we can see and what we can do here. This is the default screen, so this is basically an app that doublegreat.trade. It's our landing page. From here we have a lot of information, as you can see, and this information is condensed down a little bit in the mobile version when you have it on a smaller screen, but I'm going to show the desktop full screen size today. First thing I'll point out here, up in the top right corner, there is a filter. And again, I have privacy mode on here. But you could then filter down which accounts you want to actually look at. So by default, we're going to look at all accounts. But if we want to pare that down to a specific account, all of the positions and everything across the whole app. So in the closed positions, the performance, the earnings, all that stuff will change based upon the account we have chosen here. So from here, I'm going to pick a different one here, this account, and take a look at this. What we can see here in our open positions table is we have a lot of information. So I'll go through the buttons here on the left in just a minute, but we can see what account we're tied to, the ticker, what strategy we have assigned to that, any of the tags that are assigned to this position. DTE will be the days to expiration, so that's the shortest option expiration. So it's possible we have options in multiple expirations, but we're going to show the shortest one that we currently have. D to earnings, so this will be how many days we have until the earnings release for that ticker. We can see here, like CRM, for instance, just reported today, so they have a 0. And some of these, like JWN, has a -1, so they reported yesterday or this morning. We also have a D to dividend, so that's going to be the number of days we have until the day before the ex-dividend date. So we have a heads up there when we should get rid of, or need to make a move in that position, either in or out. We also have strikes here. This is going to show what option strikes we currently have in the position that are open. We'll see the stock price, obviously. P&L will be the calculated P&L for the position based upon the current market price for everything that comprises that position. These with stars on them are grayed out or starred out just based on the privacy mode here. Quantity, this will kind of be different if you have a makeup of a bunch of stock and options. It may not be correct. In this case, you'll see kind of what's most relevant there. If you just have stock or just have options, quantity should be correct. And then the number of days in trade. So how long have we actually been in this particular trade here? If I go take a look over here at the left here, I'll open this one trade up with Cisco here, and I'll click on the details. That's going to give me some information about this, what account it's in, what ticker it is, the strategy, the tags, the closed P&L, so all of the legs or previous options, legs that have been closed, what's the total actual P&L there, any of the dividends received, so this is total dividends here, and then any notes that I might have added to this position. Down below here, I have the table of all the legs that make up this position. So you see the symbol. These are obviously these are options. This is equity, so stock here. We'll see the quantity. Now, these positions came from being rolled up and onboarded, so calculating the correct quantity there basically doesn't work yet until we actually are tracking these live, and then the quantity should be correct there. We'll see the net amount, so that's like if we bought it or sold it, how much did we collect on that, and then when it's closed out, how much, what's the actual P&L on that particular leg. Were we long or short that leg? And then when was it open and when was it closed? Obviously, this first one here, I have 120 shares. Currently, nothing closed, so that's obviously what I do have in this position. A couple other things here. Up at the top left, we have an edit button, a close button, and a payoff diagram. If I take the focus over here to back to the table here, you can see I also have the details, the edit button, and a payoff diagram there. So you can get to it a number of different ways. If I click the details here and click the edit, what I can do from here then is change the strategy. So maybe this wasn't long stock, maybe it was actually a short put or whatever that is that I want to do. Now, if I want to add a strategy, I can simply go to the profile page, add a strategy, and then come back here and set that. Position tags, this is a multi-select, so I could actually choose multiple ones here, like earnings and, a scalp, whatever I want to choose there, and tag this position with multiple ones. We'll be able to use that in the future for doing analysis and filtering based upon those tags. And then any notes I might want to add. So maybe I want to add a note here, today that says, position looking good or something like that. I can simply update that. And then that will add my notes that you can see here, my tags, as you can see here, and all that information will, be updated there. The nice thing about the notes is you could add the note there, and then, now it's tomorrow, and I can add a new note because I did something different, right? And then I can save that. So I can have kind of a journal going on here about this position. So if I rolled something, if I exited a position or exited a leg, those type of things, I can keep that journal here in the notes. From here, I'm going to click on the payoff diagram now. One thing I will note here, the payoff diagram is part of the pro tier, so it's not included in the free version. What that's actually going to do is calculate what, all things being equal, if every option expired in this account or in this position today. So maybe we have multiple options that are out, multiple expirations. We are not going to take that into account. We're just going to assume that everything expired right here, right now. What would my P&L look like? So like in Thinkorswim, we have the expiration line, and then we have the current P&L line. Current P&L line is pretty hard to actually calculate. So what we're looking at here, like I said, is the closed P&L. This particular one here, looking at Cisco, since I only have long stock, that's a pretty simple payoff diagram, as it just simply goes up in a linear fashion. What we can see here, though, we do see the stock price that is current price, and then as I hover along, we can see what P&L would look like at that point, which level I'm at, and then down here on the bottom on the x-axis here, I can see what percentage move that would be away from the current stock price. So as I move along there, if it drops 6.87%, I can see what my P&L would look like there. I'm going to close this out and go look at one that's a little bit more interesting. WPM here. This payoff diagram, this is actually, let me close that and open up the details. This is actually a covered call. So this is a long stock with a covered call against it. And if I look at that payoff diagram, that might look familiar. It's the same as a short put here. And again, I have the stock price in the middle, and as I move along, I can see what that P&L would look like at different points there. With this diagram, I can also zoom. So if I want to zoom in on a certain portion of this to get a little more granular and see something there, I can do that. I can zoom back out, get back out to where I was, and those type of things. Look at another one here just for fun. I'll take a look at XLU. This one's actually an iron condor. So this position here is going to have 4 legs, 2 short options and 2 long options. So you can see what that payoff diagram looks like. And again, this is at expiration. So assuming every option that makes up this position expired right now, what would it look like? So some of those are going to be out of the money, some will be in the money, and we'll base the P&L off of that. So you'll have a pretty good idea of what that looks like. And again, as I move along, obviously this is an iron condor, so this should be a fairly familiar P&L diagram for a lot of option traders. We can also do a couple things. This table is subject to change as I am working on this actively. The refresh button here, the position table here will refresh automatically every 5 minutes. So these positions will just get kind of refreshed as time goes on. Or if I want to immediately refresh it, I can click that button and have it go get the current positions there as they stand. One thing to know, any of the accounts that we do have, those transactions are going to be updated every about 5 minutes throughout the day. So if we have a new trade that we put on or close the position in that, that should be reflected within about 5 minutes from the time that happens. So that is the open positions, the payoff diagrams, how to edit positions, the tags and strategies. And I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.